Hello again. This is part 2 and 3 of chapter 4 of our Mystery Museum Whodunnit. Later that day. As is usually the case, several of the kids had to use the restroom while they were checking out the ancient China area. They were all having such a great time in the exhibit that they didn't want to miss any of the massive ornate statues, impressive spears and swords, beautiful tapestries, and especially the dancing dragon. While they rushed through the hall, they did notice a commotion coming from a room between the exhibit and the bathrooms. A few kids even stopped long enough to notice the curator moving around boxes and setting up hanging racks. The unusually tall kid must have had a lot of water to drink that day because she visited the bathroom several times. She didn't seem to notice the curator, but did stop each time to look at a painting on the wall outside the room. The painting featured a person sitting down to sew something. The strange part about the painting was that the person had an odd mustache and top hat. They didn't seem to fit the style of the painting, but they were there for all to see. The plaque for the painting read, "Top Hatta." At one point, Miss Purple stopped by the room where the curator was busy. "Okay, I'll take the bait," she said. "What are you doing in here?" "Oh, me?" said the curator. "I'm just setting up the community clothing room. The old space had to close, so I offered this big extra room we have in the museum until they can find a new home for the donated clothes. We're going to open the clothing room on Saturdays and offer free museum tours at the same time. People in need will be able to take whatever clothes they need and enjoy our amazing exhibits." "Well, my friend," Miss Purple said as she started out the door, "I'm actually very glad I asked. I'd love to donate all of my extra costumes." Even later that day, on this occasion, Miss Purple led the kids back to the portrait gallery after exploring the ancient China area. As soon as they arrived, she exclaimed, "Wow, it really stinks in here." The curator was already there and did not seem to appreciate Miss Purple's observation. "I keep my museum very clean. It can't possibly stink in here." "Well, it does," Miss Purple replied. "Can't you smell that?" "Actually, it does smell odd in here," the curator admitted. "Anyway, we need to solve this case. We need to search for clues." Shirky jumped into the room. "Whoa, you're back!" exclaimed the curator. "Back? I never left." "Oh, you mean you were disguised as that really tall kid," said Miss Purple. Shirky gave her a look of shock as Miss Purple continued. "Of course I recognized you. It was a top-notch disguise. But you couldn't fool a world-class actor like me. I can recognize a costume when I see one." "Why don't we get back to searching for clues?" said the curator. "As long as I can get some nose plugs," replied Miss Purple as she stuffed some tissues into her nose. "I also noticed the odd odor," said Shirky, "but we can't let it distract us from finding more clues. I've looked all over this place and haven't found anything new. I've also been listening closely in case there is a sound clue like the phone from yesterday. We just need to keep looking." "If only there was another way to detect clues," Miss Purple commented. "Wow, these nose plugs are really working. I can't smell a thing." "Wait a minute," said Shirky. "Can't smell a thing. The smell! That could be the clue. It's elementary, my dear Miss Purple. The strange smell is a clue. Where is it coming from? Shirky proceeded to sniff her way around the room until she finally located the root of the smell. The curator was already there, starting to pick it up. It was a stinky sock. How did this get here? Shirky thought aloud. I have no idea, replied Miss Purple. Me too, said the curator. How could that have gotten there? Shirky turned the sock this way and that in her hands until a small piece of paper fell from it. Miss Purple picked up the paper and read, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. She continued, That's like the character for today, Tabitha. Tabitha was blessed because she didn't worry about wealth or popularity. She just wanted to help others. She really cared. And because of that, she was so loved that it was like she was the most important person around. That's certainly true about Tabitha, said the curator. It's too bad we'll never find her portrait. Never fear, said Shirky. I have a feeling I'm closing in on the culprit. We will have this one solved soon. I sure hope so, said Miss Purple. I don't want anything to dampen my final performance tomorrow. I think it will be my best one yet. I can't wait to see you all back here tomorrow at the Mystery Museum. The end of Chapter 4.